and find something you're passionate about besides Ziggy.
Good evening or night or good early morning, whatever it is where you're at. So, what are we going to talk about this evening, guys? What's Smiley talking about? Oh no, Smiley just started going live. I didn't mean to start right when she did. I always hate when I go live at the same time as somebody because I don't. Sometimes it's easy to. Sometimes people think, "Oh, you're doing that intentionally." No. Um. When I asked, let's see, D% says, when I asked y'all, thought Candace knows what happened to her daughter, 162 comments were entered. Only 2 people said no. That's shocking. Too many moving parts and people. Oh, yeah. It is shocking. Sorry, I was just reading D Presents community post. But it also matters, like, to pay attention to the audience. Hey, Jen Green. It also matters. I mean, what I was here, I'll show you guys so you guys know what I'm talking about because you're just going to be so lost. All I was talking about was her community tab. I guess she did a poll to see how many people thought Candace knew what happened this summer. I'm not sure if she knows exactly. I think she knows what Dawn wants her to know. Yes, Smiley just came on too at the same exact time, and I feel bad. Oh, you lucky Lulu. What about Murdoch? Oh, you want to talk about Murdoch? Hey, Jen Green. Dottie Lee, Carrie. We can talk about whatever you guys want because all I had really was I was doing some things, errands and stuff, and I was listening to Kathy the Friends live. I thought it was really sweet that I thought it was cool that she watched part of my live, you know. I don't see why we have to attack her just because she's friends with Candace. I don't want to attack anybody just because of something like that. Because I felt like anyways that I kind of agree more. I think many people agree with her. Well, actually, how should I word this? I think more people agree with her than she knows. Because I do believe there's a bunch of people who, a majority or a big chunk who believes the main mastermind is Dawn. And I know she doesn't believe Candace is involved in at all. I think she knows what Dawn's what Dawn wants her to know. Whatever Dawn told Candace is what Candace knows, or what she believes. Like, who knows what Dawn has her thinking? Dawn is really, I mean, maybe he hasn't ever told her anything. Maybe he's never said anything to her. Hey, Unbroken. She put Dawn down and said, she said Candace should respect Dawn more. You mean Dawn should respect Candace more? Are you talking about, Pamela, are you talking about Kathy? Because what I heard is that she said that Dawn should respect Candace more. But she gave me a little shout out. I thought it was, and I had to listen back. I never listened to my own lives, but I wanted to see, I kind of had forgotten what I talked about on my live that she was referring to. I mean, I kind of remembered, but I wanted to hear everything, because she said that I was mostly correct, for the most part correct, or something like she said. And what I was saying was that that I felt like she was upset, or that her and Candace weren't as close as they were at one time because of Dawn, and also because I mean, she put in a lot of time and energy into Candace helping her get sober, and in hopes that she could I'm sure she was encouraging her, hoping that she could get away from Dawn too. I'm sure it was frustrating for Kathy to, for Candace to go back to alcohol, but that's how it is for dealing with alcoholics and addicts. And whoever said, if that's true, that Prayer Garden said something like they wouldn't dope up, they wouldn't give her medication, that's like the Prayer Garden. I think some people just talk out their ass, like completely. Just whatever serves them, they just go with. They have to give medications for alcohol withdrawal. I mean, that's one of the only ones that you can die from. Alcohol withdrawals are very dangerous. So yes, they do medicate you. And that's the whole point of detox, is to, usually they drug you. Her being so messed up like that is completely normal. I've been in detox before. I mean, mine was for opiates, so, and yeah, mainly opiates. I was also taking benzos at the time, but anyways, mainly opiates. Some, I don't know how many years ago, 10, 15 years ago. Anyways, hers though is different. Alcohol, yes, they do. They absolutely give you medications, usually so you could just like sleep through it, and you wake up and you pretty much slept through most of your withdrawal. Plus, they have to give you a little, to come off the alcohol, they have to give you a little bit of benzos too, because otherwise you can have seizures. So they have to like wean you down on, they have to give you, they usually give you a little bit of, was it Ativan? One of those benzos, just to kind of taper you down, because it's kind of the benzos have the same, are close in chemical makeup as alcohol. Most of my boys went to detox for opioids, and they were given medication until they got through the withdrawals. And sometimes, like for opioid withdrawal and stuff, like they will, some places they won't give you medication for opiate withdrawal. Now for alcohol, it's dangerous. They usually, even the really strict ones that, that they don't play around with alcohol withdrawal. You'll start hallucinating and stuff. And, she's a fairly heavy drinker. Or she was, but I think it was at least she didn't drink the rest of the time. So I'm sure Kathy was really frustrated. She made such Candace made such strides forward just to go 20 steps back. I'm sure it's frustrating, but unfortunately, that's what's so devastating and sad about addiction. It's frustrating though, because it makes you wonder though if Candace would get completely so. Well, she was sober, so she still didn't leave them, so I don't know. Oh yeah, going back to Dawn, I'm sure. I didn't watch the second half of her live because I ran out of time. Oops, 1 second. I have to. But Ativan and Clonidine. Yeah, that sounds about right. They gave me Clonidine, but that's not a benzo. That's just it helps with the blood pressure. When you go through withdrawal, your blood pressure will go high. And Clonidine will help your blood pressure. Also, Clonidine also helps with. They say it helps with opiate withdrawal, but it does a little bit. But it helps you sleep. That was the thing for me that made it really difficult to get off pills, was not being able to sleep for days on end. It was torturous. One second. And then on top of that, you actually are in real pain. So it's like you can't escape it unless you take more of the substance. Unless I used to self, try to take Benadryl and all kinds of stuff to try to just pass out. And I tried everything back in the day. Yeah, she depends on him for everything. And that's why this is like a very good lesson for us women. Too late for me because, Jim's already gone and I might as well have been married to him, But it's so important to, especially as a woman, to have your own things going, to have a backup plan if something would happen to your spouse or your boyfriend, because otherwise you can easily, there's a lot of men out there that take advantage of women in vulnerable positions, believe it or not. I could believe that. And I think Don, that's how he's been able to keep her under his spell for so long. It's just too bad because now, the kids aren't there. Summer's not there. I know it's scary. It is very, very scary. I mean, I'm sure it would be scary for her, but that's really her only chance I think that's her only chance to actually make it, is to leave Dawn. he's gonna, if this doesn't, if she doesn't go down for whatever BS he got her into with the Summer Wells stuff, allegedly, then he's going to bring her down at a later date. And it's just sad because she had the perfect opportunity to leave. She was sober. She had got through the withdrawal, the hardest part. But Dawn gets out, and, you know, I'm sure it's together. Together they're a deadly combo. I did find it interesting. She referred to, I don't know, I did hear Kathy refer to Prayer Garden as, what was it, Martha or what'd she say the name was? Martha? I've never heard that name before. I don't think she meant anything by it. I don't think she is trying to tell us like that her name, that PG's real name's Martha. I think that was just a name she was giving her. I'm not sure though. I've never heard Martha. Has anybody else? Name a birthday tattooed on her leg. Well, it makes me wonder the way he went after Summer. Like he went right to Summer when he got upset with Candace during that 911 call. It's 1:11 on the clock right now. I'm telling you guys, 111 I'm seeing everywhere now. Anyways. Forgot what I was talking about, but Martha Sissy Morrison. That would, in order to believe that would mean that, you know, Patricia, I don't know. Is the Prayer Garden live? I'm sure White Boy is going to be coming after me. Listen, I think they should understand why I was upset. You don't go around saying, like, I killed my dog. That's crazy. Hey, reap what you sow. Could be a sister. See, Martha's not a name that is not a name that that is one of that lady's sisters, though. That I found, like, that I've seen that so far. See, but I think that Dawn and Candace would have let it out by now. Like, Dawn did not act like he knew what her name was at all. And he would sit there and call her Sissy, wasn't Kathy? I think he said Kathy even. Sissy, Kathy. He's called her many like random names. I don't think he really truly knows. I mean, Hergarn's very secretive. I know, Carrie Bowberry, but I just hope he understand. I hope they understand. Like, that was pretty shocking. Anyways. not worry about it. I'm over it. That stuff happens all the time on here. I just happened to see what he said, and I couldn't believe like how blatantly how he was just blatantly, like, openly just lying straight up. Well, his wife especially. Yeah. Let's see what's the what is there?
Video did. I don't care to. I just know that there's something involved. It just, okay.
I can't understand her.
Earlier today, they said there was, when they come up here, somebody was on our property and run off. We don't.
You know, I caught that bit earlier while we were with it. Yeah. Wonder what fucking date. If that also applies to the Campbell story. Later on, discredited on Facebook, all that shit fine, laid back into sling shit the whole time at target other people around some case. That's fun. Carrying on. Nothing new there, is it, guys? From being healed outward. Yeah? Yeah, no.
I can't confirm that, but that's what they were saying, and I don't know though. Yeah. So that quick, right to the road. There's a mailbox.
Convenient.
This is where the search dogs trail ended. That's where the trail goes up.
Sorry about that, guys.
To the road. There's a mailbox. This is where the search dogs trail ended. That's where the trail goes up.
They watch, because by the time it's changed again from he overheard searchers talking about to then this, and then they actually watch, and then he's talked to the Fed about, and whatever, right?
Good afternoon, guys. I hope all is well with you all. Listen, the picture you see in front of you is a gentleman, Philip Shelton. He was lost. Well, he got lost on the. And just to give you a refresher of what it says Cotton County, Tennessee, North Carolina, canoe, all recovered.
I was seeing what this was. Hey Sheba. Hey Randaroo. Oh, thank you, Randa. Heels. What do you mean heels? Who said you heard who say that, Pamela? Whose heels? You mean heels in the air or whatever? That's surprising. Oh, awesome. So you're a Aries? So it is heels in the air that released the. Well, that's surprising because I didn't think she liked me at all. Which that shouldn't matter. People should put out the truth no matter what. But I've been noticing a very normal pattern, or a pattern here on YouTube. If you don't like someone, that means here on YouTube we put out lies about them. That's what it seems to be, the MO here on YouTube. or if we don't like something, that means we have to discredit every single thing that person ever says. Well, yeah, Athena is definitely alive and healthy and happy. And if it wasn't for Athena, I don't know how well Caitlin, I think that she was very helpful in getting Caitlin to help her with the grieving at the very first few months. Dog eat dog world. Yep. So who's this guy? About a missing man and the map that directed the agency's Swiftwater. So does this have anything to do with... I don't think this has anything to do with what we... Let's see what
information
she's saying.
But there is like one that Art for Life did, and it's got like 3 pictures. One of them is a lifelike picture. Man, that one blew me away. It's on my community wall, so I don't think it would hurt to share it, but yeah. But yeah, I think that was pretty interesting and darn good drawing.
Did you guys see Lip Lock No More's husband about cut off his hand? I was just looking at an email that I got from somebody. A table saw. Ugh. Man. Sorry, I was looking at those pictures. Did you guys see those pictures of... Yeah, he was transported to a trauma unit, it looks like. I mean, he's out now, but I guess it was pretty bad. Says he was transported by ambulance towards a nearby trauma center when the EMTs realized they should reroute him to Little Rock University of Arkansas Medical Center, where emergency technicians and specialists stitch him back together and put him in cast. Then he has to go through surgery next week. She's asking for people's prayers, but here, I'll show you. I remember one time when my grandfather cut his, oh man, that was scary. Cut his thumb. It was like real bad though. But I remember as a kid being like, I was terrified. I was so... Look at that. I'm cleaning. Will Smith is on getting Ziggy with it. And over here saying, or getting jiggy with it. Man, I haven't heard that song forever. My sister was in love with Will Smith back in the day. And Crisscross. You know those boys that like would put their pants on backwards? So who watched Kathy tonight? Does anybody else think that she looks like she could be a sister to Chris McDonough. I don't know why I think that, but, and did you guys hear what she said about me? It was really sweet. No, did they? One of Crisscross died. Oh, rest in peace, Crisscross. Applesauce. I'm just kidding. I don't know. That was me. That sounded disrespectful. Sorry. Is that true, really? Jump, jump. Oh, they had a song, I Miss the Bus. Switch. Hey, Alexa, play the song Switch.
Shuffling Switch and similar songs on Amazon.
I want to hear what it is.
Yo, mic check, mic check. Yeah, here you go. Nah, he over here. Yeah, we got that hot new thing. It's called
Hey, Alexa, turn off music before that's probably was long enough for it to already demonetize this video. But now I know what song you're talking about. Chris Kelly, he died. Oh no, what happened? Let's see if I can find the part where she.
If you want to run me off, I'll leave. But why? Tell me why first. Is it because this community has gotten just so personal and hateful? Everybody snaps. Everybody starts throwing insults. Very sad. I have definitely seen how, and that's very sad. That's very, very sad. I've had a couple of people to message me, and let's see, there's so much that I wanted to address. And
I'm looking for my shout out. Oh, that's horrible.
In the last few days, I've witnessed so much in the last few days, just myself. And it's very sad to see that a lot of people take what is said, they twist the words around to fit.
Yeah, and that's so annoying. Why do people, I don't understand why people have to do that. Well, sometimes it is genuine miscommunication. But, like straight up saying I killed my dog, for instance, like stuff like that. I mean, people will just they do that, and I don't understand why. No matter which side we're on or whatever, if we're here to really find Summer, if we want to really figure out what happened to Summer, shouldn't we want the facts and not? Why would we want to put out stuff? I want to know actual facts, whether that goes along with what I believe or not. I mean, the truth is the truth. If someday we find out that Candace and Dawn had nothing to do with it, then I'm going to have to accept that. All of us are. I can't go around and... Of course, I'd have to see proof on Dawn. Like it would be very hard for me to. I mean, I suppose even when people are found not guilty, some people still question that. So maybe it wouldn't end. But if I saw proof that Dawn wasn't involved, I would just have to accept it. I wouldn't sit there and try to twist it around and to keep fitting in with my belief that he knows where she's at. He set it up. I mean, it would be really hard. I mean, it's really hard for me to believe that was abduction, though. I don't know if I'd ever. I just can't imagine that being true. If we were told that by the police, I don't know how. How? Yeah, did you guys hear? So you guys saw Justin Farrell's little skit he did on Daisy, which was all in good fun. I told him, I said, you are welcome to do one on me. I find that stuff hilarious. But I don't care what like the skits and stuff people do on me, as long as it's the truth. I find most of them funny. Trying to remember where she started.
Fit their narrative to fit whatever they want it to mean. Channel's making it about themselves and what, if you have any information on, and even some that I did not expect to be kind have been, and I appreciate that as well.
Which she probably refers, I don't know. I kind of wonder if she was thinking me there. There's so many people who have been going to Dawn and Candace and, telling them Ziggy this and Ziggy that, which is complete, bullshit. And then people automatically have, like Candace, like I don't. Well, I mean, at least I don't anymore talk bad about Candace, really. So you see that, Dee Dee? You see how she could be Chris McDonough's sister? That's not an insult. That's just, she looks like she could be Chris McDonough's sister. Chris McDonough's a good-looking older man. Nothing wrong with looking like Chris McDonough.
Really do. It made my heart smile. Thank you very much. I appreciate you and your kindness and all your kind comments. I really do appreciate that. I kind of want to say, I'm going to do a shout out to Ziggy.
Woo woo, raise the
I just wanted to mention Ziggy because I just so happened to come across a few minutes of her video, and I don't usually watch you. No offense, I don't usually get on hardly at all and watch anybody. But thank you as well. You were very nice, and I will say this: you were pretty close on a lot of the things that you said.
Oh,
excuse me, y'all. My allergies are really bad today. My asthma's been worse than usual. Let's see, where do I start?
I thought that was nice of her. Somebody told me about that. I was like, oh, that was nice. And I'm glad that she heard what this stuff we were saying. So she knows. Like, because I want her to see, just because, there is some of us who aren't, feel like the Wells, both of them know something, but we still, like, we could still hear what Kathy's saying. I feel like a lot of us, more so than not, actually agree with her, because I feel like most people are now focused on Dawn, where I feel like the focus now needs to be. He did in a way, I guess, when people say that he threw Candace under the bus, I guess he really kind of in a way did, even though he never said that she was involved. He knew, like, when he was keeping Candace from talking and stuff, he knew everybody was thinking was thinking, oh, that must mean Candace is guilty because she won't talk. And, you know, the whole, Dawn could have, sorry, there, Hills and Air had this video about saying Mary and Jeannie lied about the age Jeannie was when the essay went on. It wasn't 5 like the narrative since Summer was 5. There was only 2 years difference. Two years difference. Is that true? Sorry to get distracted. She was saying Jeannie should be charged for essay because she had sex with a guy younger than her and showing all these clips accusing them of lying and stuff. I'm not sure what you're asking me to review. Country Girl, what were you wanting me to review? The Heels in the Air video? Maybe I should watch that tomorrow because I'm not sure Heels in the Air really likes me. I did hear about that, but that when they were at that wasn't when they were at Dr. Phil, was it? Because that was when Dawn was there when that happened. He texted me and said that he knew the boys were. What do you mean they're by themselves? Not Dawn and Mary. You mean Dawn and Jeannie? Wait. So are you saying that there was actually 7 years difference between Dawn and Mary, not Dawn and Jeannie? Or did you miswrite that? Trying to say that Jeannie was 6.5, not 5. Oh, well, either way, that's no difference. And Don himself has admitted that she was a lot younger. Well, Carrie Bowberry, if she isn't like anyone, I guess then I shouldn't feel so singled out then, huh? Oh, at the house? Well, I don't know. Do you think the boys shouldn't have been left alone? You think they were too young? I mean, the 3 of them together, I would be scared as a mom, to be honest. Like if it was, I think at 12, it's probably about 12-ish. I remember staying home alone, but it was me and my sister. We were a year apart, so it wasn't just like one of us by ourselves. I remember, I swear I was younger than 12 when we got to stay home by ourselves. But I remember us, like, for some reason, fibbing to our parents and telling them, oh, somebody knocked on the door and scared us. I don't know why we did that, because then we're going to have a babysitter. But anyways, I think at 12 years old, a kid can stay home by themselves for a few hours. I think it's fine. But then you think the 3 of them together, though, I don't think the 12-year-old would be responsible enough to babysit, like, I mean, well, it wouldn't even be babysitting because the other 2 were kind of somewhat close in age. But I would worry about I mean, 3 rambunctious boys together alone. 9. Was 5 like Summer or Chris did, but she figured their ages up, and she said she was 7, but what's the difference? He still admitted it. Oh, instead of being 5, like, yeah, he's admitted that whole situation. I don't know why people keep making excuses for him with the Jeannie situation. I mean, it happened. I mean, as far as making excuses, as like what I mean is, because I guess I kind of, in a way, I don't make excuses for him, but I also keep in mind that he was a child when it first started happening, but it's just the main thing that concerns me about, even though that was what, 45 years ago. But the main thing that concerns me is because otherwise it'd be different if it was just, if the way he tries to make excuses for it, like it was okay. Now that he's older, he should be like, you would think he would be disgusted with himself and be like, oh, I was so wrong. I can't. You wouldn't think that he would sit there and make excuses for himself. What's a latchkey mean? Yeah, I know, right? Like 6.5 is so much better than 5. Oh my God. My cousin's boyfriend works for Washington County Sheriff's Office. He told her to trust the process and arrests are going to be coming. That's all he could disclose. Really? For real? Are you serious? Are you talking about Washington County? How would Washington County know? Is he a sheriff? So he's a sheriff, or? Latchkey kids are kids who are home alone without supervision. Well, like how young? How young do you guys think is like, at what age do you think it's okay to just leave to go to the grocery store for an hour or something? What age do you guys think it's okay to do that? Well, honestly, without trying to, what age do you really think it'd be okay to walk or to leave for just an hour or so to go to the grocery store? 15? You think not? Really? 15? 16? You guys are hardcore. It does depend on the kid. I'd say 12. 12 is when Caitlin started for like an hour or so. She's never spent the night alone or anything. 10 to 12. I was gonna say 10 with some kids, probably as young as 10. With some, it just depends. but with most kids, like 12-ish. Some kids, depending, they're mature enough, True. UK recommends 16 and 12-year-old nephew. My 12-year-old nephew knows better. Yeah, he probably wouldn't even think a thing like that. No, a 12-year-old boy is not going to even think like that. Unless they've been So that's interesting, Daisy. For those that didn't see what Daisy wrote, she said that okay, so down here she says that her cousin's boyfriend is a deputy with the Washington County Sheriff's Office in Tennessee, and he told her to trust the process and arrests are going to be coming, and that's all he could disclose. Really? In the Summer Wells? That was today, Daisy? Man, I wish he could give us another clue. Of course it wouldn't. I say us, like I mean you. I mean you. I wish he would give you another clue. We talked about Summer continuously, and he assured her that things were progressing, but he didn't lead on to whether anything about like whether he believed the parents are involved. But I wouldn't. Yeah, see, that's different. Leaving a 12-year-old in charge of it, is different. I'm trying to remember though how old I was when I babysat, because I remember babysitting a very young baby, probably in, I think, middle school. I don't think I was even out of middle school. Not even to go to the grocery store for, I don't know, about 10. 10 might be. Oh no. Really? You're a pyromaniac? I know, Carrie Boberry. I hope that's true too. I really do. It's time. Yeah, it's still disgusting. I mean, even what's even more disgusting is how he tries to make excuses and make it seem like it was okay and stuff. He's his own worst enemy, but aren't we all? I was like 8 years old babysitting for neighbor kids. Yeah, I remember watching a very young baby. I mean, I know I wasn't like in elementary, but I'm pretty sure I wasn't even in high school yet. But it might have been me and my sister both watching the baby though. So it would have, but my sister's a year younger. I can't remember my sister being around. I just remember. It was this evening. He can't say because he would lose his badge, but he did say more than one arrest. More than one arrest? Oh my God, guys, let's hope this is true. And that's a beautiful dog, a beautiful pup you have there. Man. Did he give any... Look, did he give any date? Ah, man. I know he probably, if he did, you probably would say, you would have already said. It's just that I'm a patient person, incredibly patient, but man, you guys, I swear, I promise if this goes to trial, I'm going. Oh, if Don gets arrested, I am going to his if it goes to trial, which him being a narcissist, I believe, allegedly, he probably would take it to trial. I don't see him pleading guilty. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. It depends. But if it went to trial, oh, I would be there. I promise you. And I would sit there and stare at him. I would wave. Hi, Dawn. Remember me? Let's see. Surly is 10 for short periods, depending on the kid. Normally probably 12. I'm not sure how old my kids were. My daughter's 3 years younger than my son. I knew it was wrong sexually at 12. I don't even remember thinking sexual. Well, I don't know how old I was. I don't remember thinking sexually at 12, though. Like, true. While we have now more technology, we have more dangers. I was 14, babysat a set of 6-month-old twins, 5 and 7-year-old. Often the dad came to get me and they went out, but had a great recommendation. 14, I think, is old enough. Well, it matters actually, because I don't think my daughter is ready to babysit. But a lot of 14-year-olds, definitely, I think 14 is probably, I think my daughter could, like, maybe a little bit older kid, but not like a baby. I just couldn't imagine. She wouldn't change the diaper and stuff. She's still too. I feel like I'm still like my own worst enemy, even though I learn from my mistakes. I learn from my I think that's the only way you learn and grow and become a better person and evolve. Like, but people like Don doesn't learn from his mistakes because he doesn't recognize his mistakes. Because he's been enabled his whole life. So that's what happens. But even, I still feel like I'm my own worst enemy because, I don't know, like, for instance, when I'm not saying also making mistakes as far as own worst enemy. I mean, like, for instance, like when I'm dealing with depression or something, I'll feel stuck and I'm making things worse for myself by not moving forward and, like in working and making money or whatever. to pay bills. But when, I was like when Jim passed, I don't know if that's a good example or not. Maybe that's different. You think he'll plea out? I don't know. She is 6 months old. Her name is Daisy May. My name is Angie. I will keep you posted if I hear anything else from him. Yeah, email me and let me know. And I'm still waiting on an email from somebody that emailed me about Earl Taylor. I wish they would email me back because I'm really interested to hear. I don't think any officer's speaking out about the Wells family. I don't think anybody, he actually wouldn't even tell his own wife anything. He didn't say anything. He just said there's arrest coming, and that's it. He said he can't say anything else. He said that's all he can say. So actually, he didn't even speak out, say anything to his own wife. I think that's. I don't think anybody's going to lose their job for saying something like that, because I don't think it's bad. I think it's kind of like iffy because it's 3 of them, and that just sounds like, when kids get together, I was about to say especially boys, but that's not fair to say. That's and probably not true. I wouldn't know because I've never had a boy child, and actually I don't have the experience to really say either way, but I would think the more kids, the more chances of getting in trouble. However, it's also good, there's strength in numbers, so it could go both ways. Hey, Sammy. Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, I didn't know that stuff either. I was very, very, a goody goody. People teased me and saw me as a goody goody. But that was because my parents were so strict and I never got to do anything. I think that worked against me, though, because when I got older and got some freedom, I went too wild. No, you didn't. How'd you hear her when she's not here? Yes, I heard that. G crime. The reason why she's saying that is because her father put her up to it. Has been begging her forever, in my opinion. And yeah, I heard that, and that's absolutely ridiculous because Green Eyes has been around since Jim's passed, and that was Pergarden's theory before, and she even told me it. She was like, "Do you think it could be Green Eyes? Could be, Jim?" And I was like, "No, Green Eyes has a distinctive voice. I've talked on the phone with Green Eyes, and I'm pretty sure I know Jim's voice. So, Pergarden, please." Where do people come up with these things? I swear, I don't even know how they come up with it. You think they will? They probably will. Dawn probably. Don's a wuss. I totally believe if he would be like, if I'm going down, you're going down with me type. I don't see him as a chivalrous, like, oh, I'll take the charges for both of us. He could have saved Candace a lot of, he had everybody, I believe it was a lot of Don's fault, why everybody believed Candace was like number one suspect. Yeah, he's a member now here. You're right, he does sound Cajun. He does absolutely sound Cajun. Green eyes actually can be really nice. You just have to yeah, he's not in any trouble, Daisy. Don't worry about that. Nobody said it. Just he's not gonna get in trouble for just saying there's arrest coming. That's all that was said. You know? Well, I just hope that he truly knows that and he's not just hoping. You know what I mean? I hope he really truly knows that. I wonder how he would know. Is he close to? I wonder how he would know that. Do you think people would it be possible for? I mean, because Hawkins County is not on the case anymore, are they? So I wonder how law enforcement, like local law enforcements, you think they just hear it through the grapevine or connections of who they know in law enforcement or what? Do I think she regrets going on YouTube? I don't think she wanted to go on to begin with. That's just my opinion, though. No, I'm not. Because I have the video. Or actually, it's not a video, it's a picture. Did she say she didn't take a picture of me? The angle of the picture was when she was down petting my dog. You could totally tell it's her holding her camera and taking a picture of me because I'm standing there holding the leash while she's petting the dog. So I know it was Chasing. Chasing's the only one that sat there and made out with my dog while she held a phone. And I just saw it is what it is, but what is Green Eyes in here? So she didn't pull up any video with me in it at all or take any pictures. I don't know. I didn't see her comment. I don't check the comments because that's where the angle of the picture and everything. It's while I was standing there holding Athena's leash, and she was down, leaning down, like scrunched down, petting Athena, holding her phone up, which was pointed at me. I remember it like vividly because I remember thinking, I bet anything she's recording me right now. And then a few days ago, I see a picture from that same exact angle. She's the only one that was, it is what it is, though. I don't know. I guess there's a chance it could have not been her, I suppose. But it doesn't matter, really, because I don't really care either way anymore. We were talking about, well, the boys, how they were left alone. If we were talking about what age would you leave a kid home? What age do you think it's okay to leave a kid home for a few hours or, a couple hours to go to the grocery store? Like, when do you guys feel like you were comfortable? No, what else were we talking about? We were kind of watching this video. We listened to Kathy's little shout out. That was really nice. In case who's watching. Koreas, are you any? Yeah, I believe it's true. Oh, I thought you were tagging him because he was in the chat. Oh, you don't know if he's in the chat. Yeah, he might be. How can we see? Is there a way to see who all's in the chat? That would be hilarious. I wish I could. You can see participants, but I don't think that's the same thing. If the oldest was 13, 14, and there was only one sibling took over no younger than 11. Yeah, I could see. Yeah, I don't think that's I don't think that's a problem. It just, the youngest boy though, how old was he? He was like 9. I don't know if I think she's really mean. I don't know. I just really truly thought it was her because that was the angle of the picture. I mean, I remember specifically her camera pointing at me and me thinking, I bet anything she's filming me right now. I remember thinking she was going down. I remember thinking, I bet she's doing that so she could record me. Because she sat there acting like she was playing with my dog for like ever and had the phone pointing at me. But like I said, I'm not saying she's mean. I don't know how I feel. She probably feels the same way about me as I feel about her. But trust and believe, I don't just go and I like everybody. I mean, as long as somebody's decent, if people are decent to me, then I'm decent to them. It's, it's not like, yeah, I don't even think I could leave my daughter home alone for a night now. But let's not, Maggie, let's not talk. I really don't want to talk bad about her because I don't feel like, I don't have a negative feeling about her really. So I don't want to, I just said I thought she took that. It is what it is. If it didn't happen, it's fine. And it's the past. It's been a while now. And I'll just stop. I told her I'd stop talking about it. So I'm just going to stop talking about it. We'll just move forward from here on out, you know? I'll try not to bring it up. It is what it is. I don't know. I can't say for sure it was hers, you know? He said there is no public open search. Who said the arrests were coming? Somebody in the chat mentioned that let's see, it would be a friend of the family or a friend's boyfriend works for a sheriff's office in a neighboring county. He's a sergeant, and he had mentioned that he had said supposedly that arrests are coming, but that's all he was able to say. Well, that could be it. That could be some of it. Okay. I just didn't want to point you out again because but yeah, Daisy mentioned that her cousin's boyfriend is the deputy sheriff of in Washington County, or is one of the deputy sheriffs there, and he had told her today that had told Daisy's friend today that, or did he tell you directly, or was it to your friend? But you came in here and talked about it, though. You know what I mean? Was I talking about it, or did she come in here and talk about it? I'm trying to get to the point, where did she say she doesn't like Dawn?
That was when his son was due in court and wanted to turn everyone's heads away from his own son. See, was it around the same time? Does anybody know when? Like I said, I don't get on here very much because I do like facts, but yes, it is. Timing is everything. Y'all, I don't know. I wish I had.
Well, she has a good point, though. She brought up a good point about Ronnie Lawson. I haven't played it during this live, but I listened to it earlier. She had said that she wonders because somebody asked Kathy how she felt about Ronnie, or law enforcement. Hawkins County, I believe, is what she was asked. And she said she used to support them, law enforcement, and used to have faith in them, but she said that's kind of changed. And she said it changed when she saw Ronnie Lawson go on the news and say that they have lawyers and are not cooperating. Because she said that was from out of nowhere and completely untrue. Somebody in the chat mentioned, well, you know, police officers are allowed to lie and stuff. Which is true. It could have been some kind of tactic, I suppose. I guess. But who's going to say something like that about parents of a missing child? Like, we haven't heard that about any other, like, nobody. Usually people are sensitive to parents of missing children, you know, and they give the benefit of the doubt. So for Ronnie to come out and I think it says something, but she was thinking, was he doing that to take attention off of somebody else, like law enforcement, or like himself, or like his son? Daisy doesn't seem. No, I don't think you should be sorry at all. I mean, if you feel like, I don't think you said anything. I personally don't believe that you said anything. And Jim's son is a sergeant, so I know all about that stuff. So I don't believe that you said anything I don't think he even said anything to put his job at jeopardy. But if you feel like you need to delete your comments, then, you know, but I don't think it's a big deal. But me personally. All she said, guys, is, I mean, it wasn't even that, just that he said the arrests were coming and that it was more than one. Or basically said that they are working on it. Now, it'd be different if you came out and said, oh, he came to me and told me they almost got him. They almost got Don. I'd be way different. Hopefully 3. Which 3 do you think that is? I know you are, Iris. I know you mean well. She does not care for Dawn, that's for sure. Trying to find that.
I wish I had answers. I keep their attention on Don and Candace to keep the attention away from somewhere else, possibly, including the possibility of his son. How could his son be convicted of what he was convicted of and serve almost no time? You get a 19 or 20 year sentence. I think that's what it was. And you do almost no time.
That's what I need to go back into looking into. I really need to look back into law enforcement in Hawkins County. I was on a roll before Jim passed. Now I'd feel like I'd have to start all over from scratch, but I really was on a roll, like finding things left and right that was just so weird about all the connections in Hawkins County between law enforcement and certain businessmen, and I think that I really hope they're truly looking into how Ronnie Lawson and Hawkins County handled his son's arrest, that's completely unfair. And I feel like it should be done all over again. I don't know if there's such a thing, if such a thing can happen. Actually, I do know such thing. I've heard, what was it? I have heard of cases being tried over again because they were done incorrectly. I know usually they can't because of double jeopardy, but do you think it's possible for Ronnie Lawson's son to have to go through the court process again because of how shady that whole process was? Well, it wasn't mistrial. I'm talking about where somebody's been convicted, but it was done unlawfully in some way. I'm trying to think of an example. Was not lying. He said they had lawyers because they did have lawyers. They were appointed lawyers when they got their boys safe. Yeah, but he said they weren't cooperating though. He said that they weren't cooperating, and that's where Kathy believes that he was being dishonest, which it would be nice for Ronnie to explain why he said they weren't cooperating. I've never seen your name before in here. Michael, welcome. Well, or unless you're the sheriff's son. Right? Brandon Lawson is Ronnie Lawson's son. And somehow he's able to secretly go through the whole court system without the public finding out that he was even charged with these crimes. We didn't even know he had these charges. We did not know that Brandon Lawson had these charges until after he was convicted. That's not how it's supposed to work. That's absolute bullshit. Every time I think of it, it pisses me off really bad because I'm all about fairness. And I know life is not fair, but that's the whole point of our justice system. That's the definition of justice. Is fair. Balance. If we didn't get, well, he ended up, what do we have to have? Does Ronnie Lawson have to, how do we get him to have to face his wrongdoings? That's absolute BS. He's filing for a new trial right now because he's saying his trial wasn't done right, but the defendant has to file it, and I know that's what it feels like. He wouldn't say, "Oh, that's why." Ronnie wouldn't admit that, but he should have to answer to that. He should have to answer to why did his son not have to go through the normal judicial process like everybody else? Some do get convicted that way. My niece's abuser got 30 years. What do you mean? Hold on, let me see. Protests at the jail. Yeah. He's in Green County, right? I was right before Jim passed away, Brandon emailed me back and said, "What do you want?" Then the next day, the freaking PUSSY got me blocked from the whole jail system. So I can't email anybody in Greene County now. So I can't even email like his cellmates like I was doing. None of them, everybody I talked to in that jail believed he was in there on drug charges. But I didn't tell him. I wasn't going to tell him exactly what was in there. I wasn't going to be responsible for him getting hurt or something, you know? I just wanted to see if anybody had any info. I didn't want to get him, him to... I don't want the dude to get hurt. Not for something... Not for anything that's my fault. What the hell? You are so Mama Chibi. Get a life. Don't understand that Donna Candace understand if they don't go there themselves, the police cannot ask them any questions because they have attorneys. Why? Who's that? But that's not what happened, though. Moonshine Girl. You know that's not... He didn't... There's a reason why these things are public, you know? It has to be... The public has to have an option to go to the court hearings. It's always put on the little roster when everybody's court dates and times. You could go online and look. But Brandon Lawson, for some magical reason, his court date was on a day of the week where court dates don't even happen, except for the special ones. Hey, Lisa. They said at first 10 years and dropped it down to 1. Sounds funny. Condolences about what? G crime? Oh, Jim's S. We all go through loss. I'm not the only one in the world, right? We all have to deal with it at some point. What? So when is he supposed to be getting out then? Let's look. Actually, let's go look and see what it says on good old VineLink. Why does it say he's in the Tennessee Department of Corrections? I'm trying to remember. Did it always say why does it say Tennessee Department of Corrections now? See, it says probation active since status date November 9, 2022. And his probation started October 14th, 2022. When was he Then there's this one. See, this is how they're confusing us. See, I believe he's out on probation somewhere. Because how come this says he's on probation? This is not normal. You don't see this for anybody else's record. Nobody else has 2 entries. I've never, ever seen anybody have 2 entries in VINELink. Has anybody else? Has anybody else, like, I mean, I could be wrong. He even has 2 different ID numbers. He has his Granger County ID number, and then he has his Department of Corrections ID number. I've never seen both of these at one time for anybody else. But it's like, there's something weird with this. He just so happens to have one that shows that he's on probation, and then one that shows that he's in custody. Custody status date, March 3rd. In custody, Granger County Detention Facility. Book date, October 13th, 2022. I can't. No, I can't believe any. I don't trust. I would guess surely he's in jail, right? Let's see. If you do exclamation. There's no case number on this. I need to get my. $2018. Whoa. These weren't here. These dates weren't here before. That's 5 years ago. Ew. That means they were. What? How could it possibly be 5 years ago? Okay, Houston, I have there's an issue here. Houston, we have a problem. This was not on here before. The dates were not on here because that would have sounded an alarm in my head. I would have noticed that because that's 5 years ago. And guess what? They said the victims were 14 and over. That's impossible. If this was in 2018, how could they have been 14 or over? Those girls are still in high school. Oh, buddy. March 1st, 2018. August 1st, 2018. April 1st, 2020. And December 1st, 2020. It's the dates they decided to come up with. But they have 2018 for 2 of them, which is very, very extra concerning because I already knew that the whole 14 and over thing was probably a whole fake bullshit just to keep him out of, to not put him in the next category of offenders, which would put him in a higher tier. So if the offender, the age, it plays a big part, obviously, in the level of the crime. So this is impossible. How was this 5 years ago? You guys see what I'm saying? Those girls are like 16. How old are they now? I think they're 17 now. So it'd be at least 12. Let's say at the very least, if they were 18 now, that still put her at 13. I didn't notice that this was not on here last time I checked, so I need to save this because, things have a way of disappearing around these parts. Let me go to this one. There's two freaking entries for him. That is not okay. I don't know. Who else should I look up? I want to find somebody else with 2 entries that both show in custody. Both of them show in custody. In custody at the Granger County Detention Facility. And then they have another one that shows him on probation. Well, how are you on probation if you're in freaking jail? Probation's for when you're out of jail. So this is why it's concerning. It says Johnson City Probation and Parole Office. If anybody wants to contact Bruce Rittis, I don't want to bother the man, but well, I know he's responded to me an email from a jail email. I don't know if that means anything. And well, actually, I did, unless I talked to several inmates there. I emailed some random ones when I had access to be able to email them before Brandon got me, told on me like the wuss he is. He freaking told on me. What a freaking baby. He could have just blocked me or something. But no, he told on me. Wah, wah. Wah, wah, wah. Anyways, he emailed me back it was from the jail email and said, what do you want? Because I emailed and said, hey, I was just wondering, if I could get some of your side of the story. Can you email Ronnie Lawson? I mean, somebody put up his email recently. I saw it posted on somebody's community post or somebody's video. I saw it somewhere. But what will you say to him? I'm not sure that Brandon's, I don't know. I've never really thought of Brandon being involved in Summer. I'd more so say Ronnie before him. Just because don't know. We need to see if we can find any connections between Brandon Lawson and Dawn. Or like Jody Sue. I don't know. Jody Sue talks about Ronnie Lawson like he's her BFF or some stuff. I know. I don't understand either. Even and when people have called, like Smiley, I think it was Smiley who had some calls with I think it probably Smiley. That's probably a safe bet. But she called and asked some questions, or somebody called and asked some questions about this whole thing and wanted to know if he was in custody, and they were having a hard time answering the questions because of these. You could tell that you could tell that they were confused. Yeah, let me I need to remember what the email. They're allowed to have those type. Why wouldn't he? They're allowed to have yes, the public does have a right to know. The public absolutely has a right to know. That's the whole point of our judicial system. That's why it's supposed to be about transparency. That's why they let, cameras into courtrooms, for transparency. So things like this don't happen. How the hell does Brandon Lawson get to slide underneath the radar like that and come out on the other side just suddenly convicted when nobody knew anything about when his court dates were? Nobody knew anything about his conviction or his charges until he was convicted. 222 again. I swear I see 222 and 111 a lot lately. So the email from, I'm trying to think, does anybody remember the email system? They're allowed to have email. He was in a special block with other, high risk, well, wouldn't be high risk, or people who would, the other weirdos who are likely to get beat up because they're weirdos. Yeah, that's where he was. With the other weirdos. Yes, exactly. Carrie, just remember the local press only reports on approval of Ronnie Lawson. Exactly. I need to go through my recordings from when I was in Tennessee this last time, because we didn't really go over much of, listen to really what I had. I didn't really, what was the most important didn't get recorded. So that was a really big bummer. But anyways, it is what it is. Can't go back, right? But one of the things that Jason Arnold's mom told me was that she was trying to get his, she wants people to be looking into his passing and what happened. And she does not believe, she said they tried to put it on his son, on Jason's son, and which would have been her grandson. And she's like, she says she believes Hawkins County is corrupt as can be. She really wants people looking into his death. But she said she went to Jeff Bobos, I guess, from the Rogersville Review. Isn't that who is the one that owns that little newspaper? Well, anyways, he had to ask Ronnie Lawson first if he could run an article about Jason Arnold. She never heard from him again, but next thing she heard was cops knocking on her door and saying that they found his skull. Good question, G Crime. BL. Brian Laundrie? BL. Who do you mean by BL? No, why would you think that? Brandon Lawson with Candace Bly? Is that really what you said? Why would you think that Brandon and Candace had? Is that or am I misreading that? Yes, there is somewhat of a drug history for him, for sure. Actually, it's pretty well known. I even at the sheriff's office there in Hawkins County, everybody that worked with him knew his son had addiction issues. Right? It is what it is. I know. And not only do they only report on approval of Ronnie Lawson, they also turn off the comments so nobody can comment on his son's arrest. Why? Just because Ronnie Lawson is Ronnie Lawson's son? F that. Yeah, they have a registry, and supposedly he's supposed to register for life, and that's what they kept saying. Oh, well, he has to register for life. Well, so does every other sexual offender. They kept trying to downplay it, like when people would call and ask him, like, why they got this, like, very lenient sentence. And people kept trying, or the people that would answer these questions would try to say, oh, you know, they kept mentioning how he had to be on the registry for life. And it's like, you know, that's pretty, the sex registry is pretty much standard, automatic. Because you can't, just like Chris McDonough says, these people can't be rehabilitated. It just doesn't happen. It's very, 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 very rare for somebody with an attraction to children or, you know, minors, for them to be rehabilitated. I'm sure it's possible. It's possible, but very, very improbable. I'm sure anything's possible. I mean, I did see a story about a guy, I think it was on YouTube. He puts out there that he's a sex offender basically as a way to keep himself in check. He like lives as a hermit and won't go anywhere because he doesn't want to harm a child. I respect that. I mean, that's horrible that you have to live like that. But if I don't know what to tell you. If I was afraid that I would harm a child anytime I left my house, then I probably would never leave either. in a year's time, there has been 3 different occasions where a burning vehicle was on the road and there was a body in each one. If everything is burnt to a crisp, and that's less you can find out. A lot of things people don't know about. Wait, where are you talking about? Where's this at? In a year's time, in a matter of a year? Do you have any news articles on these? I do want to see. I am interested in seeing. I wish there was some kind of chart to show us all who went missing around the same time as summer, ended up deceased, or any just weird things like that. Hey, May. Did you know that? Why do I keep saying Brian? Oh, did you know that Brandon knows Candace selling drugs? Could he know Summer? Oh, you said I meant, did Brandon know Candace selling drugs? Could he know Summer? Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm gonna have to look into what Dirty South says about this. If you have any, if you find any articles on that you're talking about, especially if it's in 2021 or 2022. Well, actually, it doesn't have to be. It doesn't matter any period of time, really, because this corruption and bullshit has been going on for a while, at least 15 years, way longer than that, probably, actually. Gabby Geeks says she does keep quite the records. Yeah, and if you do find them, I mean, don't go out of your way, but if you do, just email them to me at YouTubeZiggy@outlook.com. My email should pretty much be under every video. Because I like to research stuff, and sometimes I get on these kicks where I research stuff and I get like that, but then I get burnt out, and then I have to move on to something different. I can't wait to get my ancestry back and my freaking background sites that I had back. Once I get in a better position here, I will be able to, because it's really, that's where I'd start all my research, is is Intellius. But now to sign up, they want like $25. I'm not paying $25 a month. I'm not even paying $20. I want $9.99 like I was paying, or nothing at all. Caregiver. Why don't gavel on my trauma molecule anymore? I'm not. I don't know. I don't want people. I've got myself in trouble talking about that situation. I shouldn't probably comment on it. I just think that it's just because I'm not really sure, Sammy, exactly, to be honest. Besides, I know that they support the Wells now, but I've got myself in trouble commenting on that. So, and the chasing truth thing, which is basically the same thing. I really don't have a problem with chasing truth or anything. You know, I don't hold like, I don't stay mad at people like at all, especially not on YouTube. Except for one thing. VINELink? What's VINELink? Let me look at that. I just looked up VINELink. I think that I must not be looking up the right thing. Well, I know that they talk to the Wells and stuff. What's VINELink? You mean VINELink? They don't. I'm really curious what Chillbilly's talking about. Pay the $3.75 annually and get VINELink site. Oh my god. You guys. I think just some people feel like she comes off very like kind of like a know-it-all, and I think it bothers people, but she's the only she just sometimes she comes off like that, and it's irritating, but besides that, she's, you know, I used to really respect her. Yeah, but we've just been talking about whatever. VINELink. Yeah, I don't think he meant VINELink. Yeah, because what happens is people think that, yeah, I don't have any problem with, you know, gal geeks especially. So I don't want her to think that I'm talking bad about her. It's so, you got to be very careful on the YouTube streets, because if you say like the littlest thing, it just gets turned around into something so big, and it just, you know how it goes. What are you saying? Sorry, Jam. Oh, you're good. Don't worry about it, Jam. It's cool. It's fine. I think she just doesn't want people to keep talking. You know what I mean? No, I don't think your comment was. I don't think your comment's what she meant, May. It's fine. Let's do this here.
What's the recipe for surprising the king?
Pizza Hut has the best cheese sauce.
My house
Sorry.
has fallen and her head cannot get her up.
Gloria Satterfield slips and falls at the Murdoch family's home and later dies. Questions surround the circumstances of her death after a massive insurance fraud. I'm Anjanette Levy, and welcome to Law and Crime Sidebar Podcast, coming to you from the Colleton County Courthouse in Walterboro, South Carolina. This is where Alec Murdoch's murder trial is well underway. Gloria Satterfield was more than an employee to the Murdoch family. She was a friend and really a second mom to Buster and Paul. One day in February of 2018, Maggie Murdoch called 911, reporting that Gloria had slipped and fell.
What's going on out there? My housekeeper has fallen and her head is bleeding. I cannot get her up. Okay, you said she's fallen. She's bleeding from the head? Yes. Okay. How old is she? I'm not sure, like 58 maybe. Do you know if she fell from standing or not? No. Where'd she fall from? She fell going up the steps, up the brick steps. Okay, so she outside or inside? Outside. Okay. How many steps is there? 8. Okay, is she on the ground or is she up near the top? She's on the ground. She's on the ground. Is she conscious? No, not really.
Now, Maggie Murdoch wasn't the only Murdoch family member to speak to 911 that day. Also, Paul got on the line and talked about what he was seeing.
Ma'am, she can't talk. Okay, do you know... She's cracked her head and there's blood on the concrete and she bleeds out of her left ear. Okay, she's bleeding out of her ear? And out of her head. She's cracked her skull. Okay. All right, the other lady said that she had tried to stand up and fell down again? No, I was holding her up. Okay. She told me to turn her loose and she was trying to use her arm, but then she fell back over. Okay, do you guys know who she is? Yes, she works for her. Okay, do you know if she's ever had a stroke or anything before? Ma'am, can you stop asking her this question? I already have them on the way.
Wow. I mean, I can understand it's irritating with all the questions and stuff. I get it, but she's just doing her job. What do you guys think happened with that? Do you know if Maggie and Paul saw her fall, or could that have been something done and then Maggie and Paul just saw it afterwards? Right, Carrie? Oh, I was going to say your cat is really cute. She's white like snow, or he's white like snow. Oh, thank you, Sammy. You're very much appreciated. You paid for pretty much everybody's memberships. Oh, thank you. Yeah, you don't have to worry about that here, May. I mean, and if anybody said, I used to be bad about, like, I've gotten a lot better about not, like, well, never mind. Yeah, I get what you're saying, Sheba. Because I needed to stop too, because I'm going to get myself, like, dug into a hole, like, when I really don't have any negative feelings towards really any of them. I mean, it's unnecessary drama, so. It's just a little reminder. Your email, is it from Little Miss Sunshine? I'll read that in 1 second. I haven't followed that case at all. Oakley Carlson. Florida woman accused of killing terminally ill husband released from jail. I just clicked on an ad from the link you sent me, because the link you sent me, I got interested in. Let me show you. I'm back in Washington now. I want to do anything I can for Oakley. Oh, I'll show it here in a second. His mom's name is Snow. Oh, well, thanks, May. I try. I'm not always like, I sometimes can get a little crazy, but can't we all, right? She probably killed him because she didn't want him to suffer. Let's read this. A 76-year-old Florida woman has been released on a $150,000 bond Friday evening. She is accused of shooting her terminally ill husband to death in a hospital in Daytona Beach. Aw. Ellen Gilland, 76, was arrested on January 21st after allegedly shooting her 77-year-old husband, Jerry Gilland, at Advent Health Hospital in Daytona Beach. Judge Raul Zambrano granted Gilland a $150,000 bond and ordered her to not have access to any guns, weapons, or ammunition, according to WFTV. He also said she cannot visit any hospitals unless she was experiencing a medical emergency, the television station reported. Gilland was held at the Volusia County Jail since she was arrested in January, the Associated Press reported. Gilland was charged at first with first-degree murder, but last Wednesday she was indicted on lesser charges of assisting self-murder, manslaughter, and aggravated assault of a law enforcement officer, according to the AP. Gilland and her husband had a suicide pact that she said was in the works for weeks, but she was unable to follow through with turning the gun on herself after she shot her husband. Daytona Beach Police Chief Jakari Young said at a news conference back in January 21st, according to AP. Jillian ended up in a 4-hour standoff with police. Police used non-lethal explosive to get distracted so they could take her into custody. What was he? That's sad. I don't know what to think about that. Oh, okay. So has all the cash Ugg store been repaid to the people he stole from? That's a good question. I doubt it. Why is her face so greasy?
Bowers is no longer on the streets.
The mother of a missing Grays Harbor County girl is back in jail tonight facing new charges of ID theft and fraud. Good evening, I'm Dee Dee Sun. Jordan Bowers was arrested overnight, moments after she was released from prison on a child endangerment conviction. This comes nearly 2 years after the disappearance of the 33-year-old's young daughter, Oakley Carlson. KIRO 7's Deborah Horn reports from Montesano, where Oakley supporters hope the little girl's parents are also held responsible for her disappearance.
In fact, they have an $85,000 reward for information that leads to Oakley. Meanwhile, her mother is here in the Grays Harbor County Jail, once again accused this time of defrauding several people.
Do you wish to address the court at this time?
No, ma'am.
Jordan Bowers will soon appear once again before a Grays Harbor County judge to answer to new ID theft and fraud charges. Bowers was booked into the Grays Harbor County Jail at 3:20 Sunday morning, just as she completed her prison sentence for child endangerment.
We're very grateful to the Grays Harbor Sheriff's Office for the hard work that they have been doing on Oakley's case and on this case as well.
Her new arrest, good news for Shayna Richard, co-founder of an organization created in the wake of the disappearance of Bowers' daughter, Oakley Carlson.
Because sadly, Oakley Carlson is still missing and hasn't been found since she was last seen in February of 2021.
Correct. So, yep, Oakley hasn't been seen in almost 2 years. It will be 2 years on February 10th. She wasn't reported missing until December 6th, 2021, so almost 10 months later. So we are still looking for her.
So is an entire Grays Harbor County community. Indeed, Richard came here from her Massachusetts home last month for Oakley's 6th birthday. It was especially difficult for her former foster mother.
I wish that I had gotten to go into Oakley's room and seen her face and wish her a happy birthday.
Neither Bowers nor Oakley's dad, Andrew Carlson, has talked about their daughter's disappearance. Both served prison sentences for exposing Oakley's sibling to methamphetamine. Has talked.
I was gonna say that looks like meth use right there. Look at her face. How like look at well, he has his sores, but look how all that stuff is just poison coming out of her pores right there. Ugh. Of the fire. No. Yeah, I'm still playing this. Constance Martin, she's an English aristocrat that was on the run with her pedo partner, gave birth, and was arrested without the baby. Unalive? What do you mean by aristocrat? Like somebody who's like a... Is that somebody who's like a aristocrat? Isn't that somebody who's like an uppity person, like higher class? English aristocrat. I'll have to look into that. Hey, Alexa, what's the definition of aristocrat?
Aristocrat is usually defined as a member of an aristocracy, especially a noble. For more, ask me to give you more definitions for aristocrat.
More. Alexa, more.
I have 3 more definitions for the noun aristocrat. 1. A person who has the tastes, manners, etc., characteristic of members of an aristocracy. 2. An advocate of an aristocratic form of government. 3. Anything regarded as the best, most elegant, or most stylish of its kind.
Okay. Royal family, yeah. Old money, connections to the royal family, and very rich. So was she... Was Constance like very... Was she underage or... Your Alexa answered also? Here, let's continue watching this. I don't think we saw any fires. Here, I can rewind it a little. I don't know what
Grays
fire.
Harbor County Jail once again accused this time of defrauding several people.
Do you wish to address the court at this time?
No, ma'am.
Jordan Bowers will soon appear once again before a Grays Harbor County judge to answer to new ID theft and fraud charges. Bowers was booked into the Grays Harbor County Jail at 3:20 Sunday morning, just as she completed her prison sentence for child endangerment.
We're very grateful to the Grays Harbor Sheriff's Office for the hard work that they have been doing on Oakley's case and on this case as well.
Her new arrest, good news for Shayna Richard, co-founder of an organization created in the wake of the disappearance of Bowers' daughter, Oakley Carlson.
Because sadly, Oakley Carlson is still missing and hasn't been found since she was last seen in February of 2021.
Correct. So, yep, Oakley hasn't been seen in almost 2 years. It will be 2 years on February 10th. She wasn't reported missing until December 6th, 2021, so almost 10 months later. So we are still looking for her.
So is an entire Grays Harbor County community. Indeed, Richard came here from her Massachusetts home last month for Oakley's 6th birthday. It was especially difficult for her former foster mother.
I wish that I had gotten to go into Oakley's room and seen her face and wish her a happy birthday.
Neither Bowers nor Oakley's dad, Andrew Carlson, has talked about their daughter's disappearance. Both served prison sentences for exposing Oakley's sibling to methamphetamine and failing to provide necessary medication. Carlson was released from prison last August. Now Oakley's supporters are hoping an $85,000 reward will help locate her.
If anyone has information, we are asking you, please, now is the time to let us know what you know. We just want to know where Oakley is.
Shayna Richards says they are still holding out hope that Oakley will be found alive. As for her mother, she is to make a court appearance here once again on Tuesday. Reporting in my...
Which pics are you talking about? And who's an ex-cop? He's out right now. She's still locked up for failing. That dude's an ex-cop? Wow. The fire pics for what? I don't know anything about this case. There was a fire? This is the link you sent me. What, did they have a... I'll have to look into it. See, I'm so I mean, I've seen her little cute self before, her cute little picture, but I didn't get this. Does seem interesting though. Have they spoke out? I mean, when I say will they like that's what people we should I don't know. That seems like an interesting one that maybe I should start looking into that one. Has anybody tried to get a hold of these people's like family, not family, like but people who know them and stuff? And interview them for like YouTube? So they never found this girl, did they? Still missing. You sent me something else? The mother of missing Grays Harbor County girl is back in jail facing new charges of identity theft and fraud. Jordan Myers was arrested Sunday, moments after she was released from prison on a child endangerment conviction. This comes nearly 2 years after the disappearance of the 33-year-old's young daughter, Oakley Carlson. Well, they don't want to let her out, do they? I think that's... So what they do, they arrested her, right? So Jordan Bowers was arrested overnight Sunday, moments after she was... It says moments after she was released from prison on child endangerment charge conviction. Oh, wow. I wonder if she knew she was being arrested as soon as she was released. Or if she, because that'd be kind of funny. Not to be mean, but I mean, I kind of feeling she has something to do with her daughter's disappearance. That's why, but that's just what my intuition's telling me. Moments after she was released from... Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into that. She's a little cutie. Oh, is that one about the wolf thing? That sounds like somebody spun out on meth. That sounds like something somebody on meth would say. Oh, thank you, Sammy. Oh, little heart. A casino slitherer. Do they wait at the prison gates to rearrest? See, like in jail, they run your before they'll let you out in jail, they'll run your name. And if you have, they run your name to see if you have any like warrants, like once they get ready to release you, to see if you have any other warrants before they release you. And sometimes people would think that they're getting out and then they find out, oh, sorry, psych, you're getting transferred. Look at that little pup. Look at that fluff ball. A blind daughter as well. And Britain, they get to the gates and rearrest. Bad news bears. Hold on, guys. Honestly, I think the police will keep her locked up on one or another charges. The ex-cop is most likely who's disposed of her. Drugs really F some parents. Child. Well, I don't know. I think that's just a. I think that's just a. I believe if you can do it while on drugs, I mean, it can be just like how the judge said to Alex or whatever is Alec Murdoch when he was getting sentenced, you know, and when Alex was saying that he would never hurt Maggie or Papa. The judge said, well, maybe that's true. Maybe you standing in front of me right now, but maybe the you who took 15, 20, 30, 40 pills might have done it. I think if you are able to do something like that, especially something like a drug like pills, I mean, that's not even that doesn't, opiates do not affect your, like, they don't make you trip or anything like that. You know what I mean? It's not like it's like acid or, meth, somebody up days on meth. Yeah, meth is a dangerous drug in that way because they stay up for days and then they start hearing things and seeing things. Everybody, that's where everybody's getting their names for their YouTube names. Like, how many of you guys' names are on here are after one of your pets? Because Ziggy, that's where mine came from. Sammy, that's where hers came from. Somebody else was just saying that's as well. Who was it? I'm not sure. Oh well. True. What is she? Why is she? What the heck? Hold on 1 second, guys. Caitlin just put Athena in her cage, and you hear her barking. That's weird. Athena never barks in her cage like that. Like, that's how we get her. She's like a little birdie. So she has a blanket over her cage, and then when it's nighttime, she goes in there and you cover the cage, and she's just quiet, like quiet as can be. But right now, for some reason, she sure isn't quiet. Didn't Oakley teacher report her missing? I think there was something about the teacher, wasn't there? Well, my kids certainly aren't named. Wow. Okay. So yeah, your name is, I guess, over. And your picture might give it away a little bit too. That's a cute picture. Anyways, wow, it's 3:30. All right, guys, I guess I'll let you go. I appreciate you all hanging out with me. My old cat called Paw 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 nickname. My old cat was called Paws Pawpaw. Paws Pawpaw? Is that how it was? Or Pawpaw? Was it Paws Pawpaw or Paw Paw? Wait, hold on. Was it Paws Pawpaw or Pawpaw? I'm just going to confuse myself. Is the lab live? I don't know he's live. Yeah, I think I'm going to go to sleep because I'm making it a point to go live every day now. So I should be on every day now from now on. I know I've said that before, or I've said before that I'm going to try to, but I think I'm back. I think I'm back now more regularly. I've really been trying to stay consistent. And I think I'm finally got a good routine going. Good night, Sammy. Thank you for your super snap. Good night, Lisa Kleckner. Pause. Your old cat's was called Toothpaste. Come here, Toothpaste. Honey, can you go get toothpaste? No, not that one. I wanted Colgate. Yes. Thank you for reminding. Yes, please, everybody, hit the like on your way out if you don't mind. I'm gonna try to remind you guys because YouTube is like killing long content. Really, I think that's part of the reason why people aren't getting notifications and stuff. And it's not just me that's noticing it. There's a lot of people. I've been watching YouTube videos, and I guess there's a lot of creators who've been on YouTube for a long time that says that YouTube is trying to go to starting to try to be like more like TikTok and do the shorter content, which is BS. There's nothing else like YouTube, really, is there? I mean, there's Twitch, I guess, kind of, but that's like a more gaming. Twitch, Rumble, I guess. I've never even been on Rumble. I don't even know what it is, but Yes. Yes, they did. It went from, they were taking, what was it before? Now I'm confused what they were taking. I think it was 30%, right? It was 30%. Now it's like, it's something ridiculous. Like, I know it's at least 40% they're taking. But for some reason, I was thinking they are even taking more than that. It's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, think about the amount of money YouTube makes. Yeah, it was 30%, I believe. I wish YouTube came up with a way for, a different pay system, because you only get paid once a month, like all your super chats or anything, which is okay, I guess. It's, yeah, you just have to budget for it, I guess. And let you. Oh, are you wanting to know? Are you check how much of a cut YouTube takes? Is that what you're saying? You want me to check for that? Here it says 30%. That's not. We need from YouTube. Oh my God. Is this new? 45%. When was this article made? November of 2022. YouTube monetizes videos via pre-roll display and other. Advertisers pay on clicks and impressions. YouTube gives the content creator 55% of this revenue and takes 45% for itself. That's Google Ads. But I need to find on. Is that what you're wanting to? BitChute? Yeah, I need to look into that. Can I get back to you on that? I need to find it from YouTube, like on their. Right now it's saying 7. So right now they're still taking 30%, it looks like, but I know that's changing soon. It's changing very, very soon. I don't know. I forget the date though. I'll have to look into it. Because I do know I got an email about it changing. And I think it's going to be like, it's coming up very soon. And it's like they go way up. I mean, not even just little. I remember I saw an email or something. I remember. Because I remember being shocked about how much more they're taking. It wasn't even a small jump. It was like a big amount. Yeah, well, I'll have to look to see if this is just, if this is, I'll look into that because now I'm gonna have to know. Because when when I'm curious about something, I have to figure it out. So I'll be looking into that as I go to sleep, and I'll let you know in the tomorrow afternoon. I don't know. I think yeah, they should take like maybe why don't they take more from ad revenue and then let creators keep, their own I guess that's just they make a lot from people's super chats. That's crazy. I think you're right. I think it already changed. Yeah, no problem, Carrie. But you got me curious now. I need to know that anyway. So, all right. Good night, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. Yeah, they get the same amount of memberships. It's crazy. I wish there was a loophole like that. I mean, actually, I'll look into it to make sure, but I'm sure they get the same amount of memberships. Otherwise, that would be, if they don't, then I would start telling you guys just to buy memberships for people instead of sending super chats. But I'm pretty sure they get their cut of the memberships too. I guarantee it. It's probably exactly the same because they know people would find loopholes. Do you get any membership that I have done? I don't think so. Oh yes. I get those. Yeah. But, of course YouTube gets their percentage. You know what I mean? We get YouTube it only pays out once a month. They send out the deposits on the 21st of the month and it arrives like around the 22nd ish. And so it's just once a month. But so like when you guys super chat or do buy memberships or whatever, that goes on that check. So of course the Cashaps and stuff we get automatically. But it's good to have that chunk of money, too, because it's that way you don't spend it. Well, I would definitely recommend Cash App or Venmo if it's going to be super, if instead of a super chat, but I appreciate all of it. As long as you guys are, I appreciate all of it. I don't want to, you know what I mean? I don't want to sound ungrateful. They're not a U.S. company? It's probably inflation. It's horrible. All right. Going to sleep for real. Half asleep as it is. Talk to y'all later.